Yeah, we are.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Authoritas Tea Time SEO. This is a 15-minute break for everyone to, connect with one another. We're all working from home to learn some actionable and bite-sized tips. So I'm SEO Joblogs, and I'm also joined by Carrie Shepherd.
Hi, guys. Today we have got, I'm going to pronounce it wrong, I'm sorry, Laurent and Pinar. Hi, guys.
Hello.
So thank you very much to Laurent and Pinar, who are going to be talking to us about keyword research and why is it still important. So over to Pinar and Laurent to introduce themselves.
Please, Pinar, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, first me, ladies first. Thank you very much. Yeah, my name is Pinar Ünsal. I'm one of the founders of Kubix Digital. We are a search-focused digital marketing agency and are already doing this for quite a long time. So I started my career a long time ago in 2003, but later moved to Google in 2006, and then 2007, end of 2007, we founded our agency. So that makes already 15 years in search. I'm also a judge of the US Search Awards since 2016, which is good fun every year. And I'm the founder of Women Digital, a network for women working in the digital marketing industry.
Great, thank you. And Laurent?
Well, yeah, I'm also a judge and head judge for a bunch of things, and I'm also been doing this for a long time. But what's important about me is that in this whole like semantic search, topical, whatever, or semantic clustering, all those, this new era of SEO, I've been doing it for a long time, and I think I was the first to be able to put together a system that's applicable, because it's a lot of math, it's a lot of theory, and I was able to say, okay, number one, you do this, 2, 3, 4, blah, blah, the whole workflow. And I'm very proud of it because I created the number one strategy in France, and I'm about to go tell you guys in English. Monday, let's meet on Monday on YouTube, SEO Conspiracy with a Y. With Dixon Jones, we're going to debunk all the myth, all the urban legends about SEO. It's going to be very cool. So that's my new, and also I'm saying I'm the first. I think I'm still the only one, at least 5 years ago when I started, I was the only one to teach the business of SEO, how to become a SEO and not only how to do SEO. So I'm also very proud of that, but that's in French. If you don't speak French, you got to wait for a little while until I get on to teach you about the business of SEO as well as. But Monday, SEO Conspiracy. That's my plug.
Great, thank you very much. And I just wanted to say a quick hello to everyone that's joined us: Arija, Antoine, Flo, Azim, Laurence, Sylvia.
Boss is here.
John, Lawrence, sorry. I already say it's Laurence. Michael and John.
We got to behave.
And Monse. So we will be having some time for Q&A, so please put your questions in the chat. Now I'll pass over to Pinar to go through her top tips about keyword research. Over to you, Pinar.
Thank you very much. So it was very challenging to put together 5 minutes because this is a topic you can talk about, a day to make a training out of it. But yeah, what I wanted to say, of course, it is still highly relevant. You really need to start, even though sometimes can be a bit boring, to do a proper SEO project. You have to really start with keyword research. It is still very essential, and only with this you can optimize a website or the content of your website accordingly. So what we do a lot, of course, we use tools for this because you cannot think about all the details yourself, and the best tools that we use, we think are the best. Maybe Laurent can say what are his tools that he loves to use. So Keyword Tool.io, Answer the Public, SEMrush, these companies I think have good tools to do a good keyword research. What I think also is really important to have in relation to this, make a proper competitor analysis to look for content gaps that you can use later in your SEO, and I also want to say content marketing strategy, because it doesn't go one without the other, doesn't go. It's not only technical SEO that we're talking about for keyword research, also content marketing. So we are an integrated search marketing agency, and we do both, like SEO and PPC, and also content marketing. That's why I'm a big fan and supporter of the more holistic approach. So I don't think this should be really strictly divided into SEO, PPC, or content marketing departments. And we like to work together a lot, so we benefit from each other. So you can use great reports that you have in your Google Ads accounts, for example. We use the search terms reports that helps our SEO teams to dig forward get more insights in their SEO project. So that would be something that I highly recommend. Try to use not only these keyword tools that everybody knows, speak also with your customers, speak with your teams internally to get a feel also for the customer, and also what is the user intent in this relation.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Can you tell me just a little more about don't think in silos? What do you mean by that?
Don't think in silos. I mean, you have in a lot of agencies, I think you have pretty divided departments, and they sometimes compete with each other. So there's like, oh no, PPC is more important and SEO is more important. That's why I say don't think in silos. Like, don't think in, okay, this is my area and this is your area. That's what I meant with that. Thank you for asking. Good. Okay, great. So I put another thing that I thought is important in that context is also international SEO. Like when you do your keyword research perfectly, let's say for English language or for French language, and then you have another thing that you got to do, for example, for German. Be careful when you use translation tools and you don't do a proper localization. Like, for example, you don't use in-market experts. Then sometimes it can go pretty wrong, and you can miss huge keyword potentials. In this case, we have a client that used the wrong keyword in German and just missed a huge opportunity of a search volume of more than 300,000 a month for this particular keyword here in that example. That is what I wanted to say about my top tips. Was that 5 minutes?
Yeah, no, that was great. Thank you.
Good.
I'm glad also you mentioned about the international part and translation, because yes, that happens many times. And also in the English language, you have Australian English, American English, and English. Those would be, I think, gumboots.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But didn't you ever encounter beyond? I remember for the in French when there's it was for wedding or death or birth, I don't remember, but we send out cards, and in Germany they don't even behave the same way. So there's even sometimes like there's not even a keyword translation, or it's just a different behavior. So it's even beyond the keyword.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah, you have some funny examples always that you come across as cultural differences actually that come into place then, and then sometimes that product even won't work in that market, but you didn't know before.
Well, thank you, Pinar. And I just want to ask everyone, have they got their tea or coffee or cake today to share with us? You can also take part in the photo competition that we've been tweeting on Authoritas. So
I'm ready, because right after we got all the judges, we are going from this to this. So.
At the Corona. I'll pass over you to Laurent to share your top tips. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I'm very happy. I'm always the happiest when I'm the only guy with beautiful and lovely ladies. You know, it's a French thing. So, topics are the new keywords. Yeah, I try to ask my clients and my students to think about ideas, concept, or clusters, or buckets, or whatever you want, but more around everything around just the keyword. It's not the old school SEO of how we worked before. Was like, okay, we had one keyword, we had one page, and then we had CTR, a certain number of visitors coming through that page. That was 15 years ago. Now we got to explore the topic. Laurent is here, and he knows how I like to smell the SERP, the footprint, the perfume of the search engine result page. We got to be able to analyze that. There's a lot of things that Google tells you, and you got to train yourself to see, to be able to see. You don't see, but it's all in front of you, and Google tells you what you should talk about, but you got to explore the topic. Then also, yes, I hear a lot of strategy that say, yeah, let's do some long tail, blah, blah. Long tail is for losers. You got to go, if you look into a tool, you got to see that the top keywords still grab everything. And I've never, okay, first, maybe let's define the long tail, or at least my definition. For me, long tail is a keyword that's going to bring you 5 visitors or less per month. And the only clients where I've seen a real long tail are publishers, right? Real like publishers who can publish dozens or hundreds of pages a day, but e-commerce and stuff, it's more what I call middle tail. So don't fool yourself. The big keywords are where it's at, and you got to be ambitious enough, especially since everybody is going long tail. It's not that hard to rank high on the really competitive keywords. And the problem with those big keywords is that some convert and some don't. From my experience, and I don't know, for example, flower converts a lot. It let's say like for 5,000 orders per year at $50, that's $250,000 euros of income. That's not too bad for the word flower. On the other hand, a cadeau, gift, nada, nothing. What's the difference between flower and gift? I don't know. Can't tell you. What I can say is, don't look at the volume and all this. Go buy AdWords, even for a day, put the maximum bid, and you're going to have data if that big keyword works for you. And sometimes you can be even smarter. For example, I remember it was Puma, the shoes. They bought all the keywords in AdWords, like a lion, like jaguar, and all that. And they had with Usain Bolt this ad with like I'm faster than the lion with my Puma. So those were very, very cheap as well. But that's more like content marketing than real SEO. So big keyword, go for the big keywords. How do you find them? Well, you name a lot of great tools. I want to mention Authoritas, because there is a great research tool for Authoritas, but also I love how they work around the keyword to be able to give you a value. What I told you is buy a little bit of AdWords and you're going to get a feel, how does it work for you? Well, with Authoritas, you can basically even put an amount of money of what you're missing if you're not going on that keyword. So I wasn't paid by Lawrence, but I'll give you my bank account after the chat. But it's true. I'm not saying that because you guys invited me. I'm saying that because I know the tool and the approach for keyword research and then execution behind the keyword is remarkable. And check it out. Check out that tool. Otherwise, if you want to... Why do I say topics are the new keywords? Because before, old school SEO, you had a keyword and you repeat that keyword X number of times to be relevant on the keyword. What I say is you play the mystery word game, or how can you define something without repeating or saying that thing, right? You have that card with the mystery word, and to me, everything around the keyword is actually more important than the keyword itself. So the phase of keyword research is nothing. It's just the first step. It's not an end in itself. If you're not able, like Authoritas, to be able to execute and to compare and to evaluate, or if you're not able to explore the topic around the keyword itself is nothing. And the value of, okay, there is more traffic on that one there, not interesting. The intention is that keyword right for you is more important. And yeah, please, even if you have wonderful tools like Authoritas, SEMrush, and everything else, the press the button syndrome is more alive than ever today. You can be an average SEO if you believe that a tool is going to do the job for you, but you got to be able to analyze the difference between an average and a great SEO. Is the great SEO is going to use the tool to be more efficient, to be faster, to have more, to be more productive. But a great SEO is going to know how to work without any tool. That's the difference. So if you want to level up, well, try to understand how it works, what you want to achieve, and you can use the tool more efficiently that way. And the goal, yes, that's if I have to summarize my job, what do? I make people and companies famous on the internet. Moreover, with my strategy of the topical mesh, the goal is that offer and demand meet, right? You have one circle, what you offer is one circle, what people want, and the common ground between the two is where you have the goal. And of course, the bigger the size of that common ground, that's what you want to explore. That's what you want to find. And basically, that's it. But if I want to summarize, my real job behind the keyword research is to find the common ground between offer and demand, and that's when it's gonna explode not only the traffic but conversion.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Laurent. Some good tips, very concise, for sharing why keyword research is important from both Pinar and Laurent. Can we take some questions from the audience? Does anyone have any questions?
I think I have a question here. So this is for Pinar. How much time would you spend on keyword research? So how many hours would you allocate when you are starting a project for keyword research?
Well, that's a nice one. I don't want to answer like every SEO. It depends, of course. Well, we spend quite a lot of time actually. And then once we start with the keyword research, then when you are in the project working with the client, after 1, 2, 3, 4 months, you still ongoingly, of course, work on that keyword research. It's nothing that you do and then it's done, because if it's, for example, an e-commerce client, there's products changing, trends changing in fashion, and now with the corona crisis, of course, it's completely different search behavior. So it never stops, and I think it's worth to spend long hours in there to really understand what you want to optimize for and go for.
But just saying that, do you have any pushback, like from clients? Like, pretend when you're doing the scope of work and you say, "Oh, I don't know." Mm-hmm. A lot of people in SEO, you do a lot more work at the beginning, you know, because there's a lot of research to do, maybe some tech audits and things like that. So if you're allocating, let's pretend 20 hours, or pretend it's a fifth of your time in that first month. Do you get pushback from clients around the percentage of time that you spend on it? And if you do, what do you normally say to people?
No, actually, we don't get any pushback from client most of the time. Yeah, they're more like we start and then we go step by step. We have a project plan and that we stick to, and yeah, they can follow what we're doing. So normally they know where we are, and we never had, I mean, I don't remember that we had someone questioning our work and that part, but maybe that's a Turkish or German thing, I don't know.
What I say is, I say that we prefer to spend more time preparing to make up time when we execute. But let's not forget that we can prepare all you want. The only person who's going to tell you if you're right or not is Mr. Google, right? That's and I think it's very important. The first phase of preparation needs to be followed up by a phase of adjustment, right? You could be right next to the good keyword. you prepare all you want, but if you don't do like a study of is it working? I see too many strategy of, okay, we prepare, we launch, and we don't adjust, especially in SEO. With PPC, you pay money, so you adjust at 8 o'clock, at noon, and at 6 p.m. SEO, you prepare, you launch, and yalla, that's it. No, you gotta do the same than PPC, where you need to adjust and intention, right? It's the next topic I'm gonna. If you figure out what told you the common ground, what is the intention behind the intent behind the search, and does your page match that intent? Is that really the keyword, like your example in German, or is that a keyword next to it? I have a great example with the Venturi cars. Before Tesla in Monaco, there is those luxury electric cars, and in the industry, they call it electric vehicle, right? Electric vehicle. Vehicle? How do you say it?
An electric vehicle.
Okay. They don't want to hear anything about electric car because it's not the proper word. Here's an example where offer and demand don't match. Who is going to type something else than electric car, right? So
you have to, with the keyword research, what you're saying is that, it's not just let it go, we're done to let it go. It's about tweaking it, which is good. And I think a lot of people are doing a lot of adaptation. I think we've got a couple of other questions here in the chat. Hello, Arij.
Yeah, so Arij has the question for Pinar again. What is a must-use tool? What is a must-use tool for keyword research? What is one thing you can't live without?
Okay. For me, I think it's Keyword Tool IO. I use that a lot because it just it's very quick and very fast. You can enter the country and the language, and then you get quite a good output. And I love that one most. But of course, I use other tools as well to understand more what the user's searching and questions are asked and stuff like this.
Great. And I think we've got one other one from Azim. For you, what's the biggest challenge that you faced when conducting or presenting your keyword research back to your clients?
I don't know what kind of we don't really, we present it, we show them what we have, but it's not, normally they don't say, how do you come up with this research, or what is that about? But sometimes what we have, for example, with a luxury jewelry designer, we say, for example, okay, people are writing skull ring more than a different ring, and then we discuss that with him because he says, oh no, that one is not sold so well, but maybe it's because it's not visible on his website, it's somewhere hidden, or it's left orphaned and stuff like this. So that is what we start discussing once we're done with the keyword research. It gives us a lot of talking points, and then we start reverse engineering sometimes as well.
Okay, good. Well, it seems that you don't have much pushback, which is great.
Yeah, I think we have nice people, nice clients.
Yeah, good. We just have a couple more from Flo.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the main info you ask clients as part of their brief before you start doing keyword research?
And this can be to both of you, so Pinar and Laurent.
Maybe Laurent can answer. I have to read it first.
Oh, that's a complicated one to answer briefly. In fact, to be truthful, I don't need anything. I can figure it out myself. But now it's more about, again.
I think if you were going from the beginning, if you hadn't had the years of experience, what would you ask?
I need two things. I need to know who are they and who are they talking to. Like who are they talking to, buyer persona and stuff like that. And I got a bunch of exercises to understand who are they from I always take the example of the face. I told you last time, right? With it, I think I explained that we are judged by this thing that's 2 millimeters thick, and so you got to be able to present. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. So who are you? Where do you come from? What are your values? Blah blah. So no more how you present yourself. What's your style? where you come from, etc. That's what I need from a client. But like I said, I try to go beyond just keywords, and we need to explore. For example, when I ask keywords, it's not SEO keywords. It's for example, if we take Apple, like so it would be innovation, it would be design, it would be like those are not keywords related to the SEO of Apple, right? It's more keywords that define the company. That's what I would like. That's what I need from a client.
Well, that's some good insights from there. I also wanted to say to everyone that has joined here, we've got a few more people that have come on board. Flo as well. Mike's been asking some questions as well. Just thanks everyone for tuning into Tea Time SEO. If you do want to take part, we do this every day at 4 p.m. and you can speak to Carrie. She's been in touch, sending you some emails. But we had some companies that would like to maybe co-produce, co-host it with us, and we're definitely open to that. So please reach out to Kara and I afterwards. We have time for one more question. If anybody wants to drop one in the chat for Pinar and Laurent.
I got an idea. FrenchTouchSEO.com. Here are the tools.
Okay, well, here
are the tools that I recommend, and it's all those tools.
Afterwards.
All those tools are about exploring the topic.
Okay, great. And can you, after we tweet this out, then can you reply with that one as well, so we all can follow that? Great. Yeah, we'd love Florian. Have a question. One last one.
So, do you have any tips, tools, approaches for keyword research for large websites with millions of subpages?
Okay, you have 1 minute each, Pinar and Laurent, to answer this one.
Do you want me to start?
You can start, Laurent.
Well, I don't care how large is the website. The Pareto principle applies to nature and to everything. So there's 5% of your pages who are going to do like 65% of the business. Then you have an extra 15 that's going to equal to 20%. But the law of the 20-80, that's how I do it. I start with what's most important and Pareto principle.
Great. And Pinar, what would you say about that? Do you have any tips or tools, approaches for keyword research for the large websites that have millions of these subpages?
Actually, we don't have such a large project with millions of websites, but I would go, like Laurent said, I would just focus on maybe the products that are their highest margin and best sellers, and then start from there and then see what you can do. And I mean, it's something you cannot push a button and then it's done. You really have to do it manually plus together, of course, with the tools. So I think, you have to start from somewhere. So you better talk with the client and then decide which is the right place to start, and then analyze the data together, and then, start doing it.
Well, important question. Milk before or after the boiling water?
Well, I just read something from my read saying that she made Laurent's one cup of tea a few years ago, and it was the first and last time. I think I made Laurent's a cup of tea once, and that was it. I don't make that good tea. He knows it. So, Carrie, what do you say about this milk? Is it you
did not know that. Is that a British thing?
Making of the tea?
I don't use milk in the tea.
Okay, Carrie, how do you make a good cup of British tea?
Definitely put the milk in afterwards. I make Laurent's tea all the time, and that's how he likes it. It's how I like it as well, though. So,
but Lawrence does make tea for other people too. So
he does.
Thank you very much for taking part in our Tea Time SEO. We are back tomorrow, same time, 4 p.m. British summertime, with Roxana Stingo and Rachel Costello, and they'll both be sharing some great tips about how to make your website super, super fast. So tune in. We'll be tweeting that out tomorrow morning, and you will also receive some emails from Carrie. So if you want to get involved, please do. I saw some notes from Jay Aru about future speakers. Thank you, Rumble. We'll be in touch. So thanks, everyone, for joining today.
Thank you.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.
Thanks for inviting.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.